Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a viewer, subscriber. You might notice something different behind me, and that is that I've finally turned all my books around. I do this every so often. Sometimes I have them with the pages facing out, then I get bored of that and I want to see what the spines look like. I like the colour, and then a couple months later I can't deal with the clutter and how messy it looks, so I turn it back around again. But for now, you've caught me in a moment where the spines are showing, so that should actually make things a little bit easier in terms of TBR. I used to have it so that some books were turned around, although like most of the ones on my red shelf was turned around. So if you're new to these videos, I'm going to quickly give you a little mini bookshelf tour. Not really. This is all red romance, and then this is TBR. This is TBR, that's red. I'm just running out of room. So it'd be good to get some romance books read, although I want reads that fit the season. I'm going to be referring back to my autumn TBR constantly. So if you haven't seen that video already, I recommend watching it. This smaller shelf here, it's got 4 shelves here, and these are all TBR books. So that's where we'll mostly be focusing our energy. I've got my little mic here. We introduced her last video. If you missed that video, you wouldn't know that I don't have a clip, so I'm going to be holding it, but I will try and grab for prompts as much as I can. This will be out of shot, so hopefully that's okay. We also have classic bad lighting. This spot in my room always has bad lighting because there's a window like up there above me, and the light, it looks like it's gonna rain. Terrible as usual, but these are fun videos regardless. And I'm also told that lots of my viewers don't care about the lighting. Definitely not as much as I do. In fact, I got some person saying the lighting looks fine and better than some other videos that they've seen, and I need to chill and be kinder to myself. And it truly felt like I was going through therapy. Thank you so much. I needed that. I definitely am not very kind to myself. We're working on it, okay? Prompt number 1. Sorry, like I said, this is out of shot, but I promise you I'm not cheating. Same vibe as the last song that I listened to. I don't think I've listened to a song since I made... Actually, maybe we'll get my phone 1 second. I was gonna say, I don't think I've listened to a song since I made the reel I just posted, which has got Roman Holiday by Fontaines DC in the background. But let me just go on Spotify and see if maybe there'll be a song there. I Promise by Radiohead. Should we go with that? Let me find out what that's about. I mean, I feel like it's just being really loyal to someone. That might be a bit boring. Being devoted to someone almost to an idiosyncratic fault. Details a relationship in which someone makes declaration after declaration that no matter what happens, they will stay by their partner's side. I'll have a little peruse, and then if this doesn't work, then we'll pick something else. So we might refer back to Roman Holiday by Fontaines, but I'm not sure what that's about either. I love a lyric. I'm definitely a lyrics girl, but I don't know, I'm sorry. This is kind of rogue, but my first thought is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, which is a book that's on my awesome TBR, because this is about an unplanned pregnancy. Like, the guy sticks by her side and they become friends, and then they fall in love, and I think they end up together with the baby. But I'm just thinking, like, saying I promise, I promise, I promise, like the way that that song does over and over again, might be kind of like a parent, like this guy, if he was scum of the earth, could run away from her because he is not like obligated to care for the child, although we would hope that he would hang around considering it's his. But yeah, I feel like that does fit the vibe. So this is, yeah, unplanned pregnancy, cutie little romance, meant to be really beautiful and wholesome despite how things start off. But yeah, I'm excited to give it a go, and it's on the TBR, on the autumn TBR, so great to get on the October one as well. That actually went really well. Should we play you a snippet of that song? It's very repetitive. I was just listening to my Radiohead playlist yesterday. Cute. Hopefully it doesn't have bad vibes, that book, in the way that the Radiohead one does, in terms of Tom York perhaps staying when he should leave. Fingers crossed. So that's our first prompt. Prompt number 2. By the way, how many prompts am I going to go for? I was thinking maybe, I do want to kind of read every single book that's mentioned here, and I'm not a very fast reader, nor do I read a lot of books per month. So I thought that we might put it at 5, because then that would be kind of realistic to me. I've got a prompt here. Let's see what it says. You're kidding. Book on a seasonal TBR. That is actually so perfect, because the book I'm going to go for here, I mean, I've got a bunch of them next to me, but the one I really want to prioritize in October, of all months throughout the year, is, let's get a Dracula by Bram Stoker. Yes, 2025 is the year that I finally read Dracula. This has been on my TBR for this season, the past 2 years. 3 years, 2 years, can't remember. Basically on my official TBR. So I mean on my like tentative TBR, my like open TBR, I want to be reading this in autumn since I knew that Dracula existed and I would like to be a reader. Yeah, I feel like even if you're not a reader, reading Dracula is not out of the question. I'm really excited. This is a really cool copy. My camera very rudely stopped recording, so that's great. Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition. Super cute. On the TBR as a book that is on my seasonal TBR. Perfect. So now we don't have any expectations because that was the one book I did want to get on here. Prompt number 3. My camera's telling me that it thinks I'm under a spotlight because of the way the lighting's coming overhead. Okay, we've got a little prompt. Let's go with this one. Did you hear my stomach rumble then? You're kidding me. This sucks. Oh, okay, this was so negative of me. A sci-fi book is what we have here. Sci-fi. Okay, so, but maybe that's okay. I would love for this to be sci-fi, but I just don't think it is. I think it's horror. Give me 1 second. I'm back. Did you miss me? Oh gosh, that did not sound good. Okay, I had an interesting time out there because I brought back 2 sci-fis that I'm interested in reading, and then there's a wild card as well. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick is on my 2025 TBR, and a book I want to read. I've got plans for that. I've also got 2001: A Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke. Very chic looking book. I love this. I'm not on any sort of TBR, but a book that I'd like to get to, obviously, because I own it. And then I remembered that a book that is on my autumnal TBR, but not one that I had sitting next to me because I want to get to this one in November, considering I want to read Dracula in October. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which is said to be the book that kind of like, it's like the foundation of the sci-fi genre. People argue this invented the genre. So I feel like we can't get more perfect than this, and I am kind of tempted to just go with this. Maybe even if I just start it in October, if we don't finish it, I'm going to read Dracula this coming week actually, so the first week of October. Maybe it's alright. I just don't want to be reading those 2 books too much side by side because I just feel like I want them to stand alone in my memory. But yeah, we're going to go with Frankenstein. I haven't read either of these 2 great classics, so 2025 is really the year we're doing it. Okay, prompt number 4. So far this has gone super well in terms of getting books from my autumn TBR. Let's see if we can keep going with that. Or maybe not, if I can make this more interesting if you've seen that previous video. Okay, the exact opposite genre of the last book that I read or picked. I mean, considering the last prompt was about a genre, maybe we do that. What's the exact opposite of a sci-fi? A non-fiction? No, not really, because I feel like the non-fiction and sci-fi, like, they go hand in hand. A romance? I don't think there's a romance in Frankenstein, is there? I think it's a bit more like, I think it's not really romance heavy. I'm not sure if there's a romance, and I don't know anything about it, to be honest. Maybe we do go with a romance. We've got 1 on the TBR already, and I just can't think of like, what is the exact opposite genre of sci-fi? It's not fantasy. Could be a non-fiction, but I just feel like that doesn't really make any sense because they are kind of related. And then what else have we got? It can't be like horror or something because Frankenstein is also kind of a horror book. Okay, we're gonna go with romance, I think. Let me just have a look at my romance TBR. We do a cowboy romance. I feel like that'd be really rogue, but maybe that's what we need. So I do have Reckless, if I can get it out, by Elsie Silver, the 4th book in the Chestnut Spring series, which I do need to continue. I also have, what is it? Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage, 3rd book in the Rebel Ranch series, also a cowboy romance. But maybe we do Reckless. I feel like I'm in the mood for a Chestnut Springs book, which is kind of rogue. But if I just feel like something completely different, actually no, because this is also accidental pregnancy. We can't do that, I'm sorry. Maybe I then do the other cowboy romance book I have. Or we could do Never Been Shipped, because that's one that I bought recently. I'm excited to read it. Let me just get this out. Messed that stack up, but who cares? Probably everyone watching this and myself in editing. Lost and Lassie by Lila Sage. Let's go with this. So this is 3rd book, like I said, in this series, and there's 4 books in this series, so we're coming to the end of it. Teddy Anderson doesn't have a plan. She's more of a go with the flow type of girl, but for some reason the flow doesn't seem to be going her way this time. Gus Rider has a lot on his plate. He's always been the dependable one, but when his workload starts to overwhelm him, he has to admit that he can't manage everything on his own and he needs help. His little sister's best friend, the woman he can't stand, is not who he had in mind, but she's the only option he's got. Slay. So good. We're reading this. Okay, so that is 4 books. Let's go with a 5th, potentially a 6th. if I want to stress myself out this month. I'm not sure how much reading I'm going to be doing because I've got 2 weeks that are extremely busy and a bunch of other things I want to be doing as well. We shall see. What does this say? I can't open it. My nails are getting in the way. Are you actually joking? This is such a joke. Like, how is this being so perfect to me? We have, I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see this, but it says, okay, I'm doing such a bad job at this. It says a spooky read. Are you kidding? I could have done Dracula for like 3 of these answers. Spooky read. Okay, so the first thing that is the spookiest of my autumn TBR that I have left, I believe, is Phantasma. This is scary. Is it spooky? I mean, the cover kind of looks spooky. Should I just Google it? Should I say, is Phantasma a spooky read? Is Phantasma a spooky, I mean, no one's ever said this, read? Member review on NetGalley. If you're looking for a quick spooky read, I recommend picking up Phantasma. Someone says on Reddit, is Phantasma a horror? And someone replied, I thought it was more gothic spooky vibes. This is sounding good. If we didn't choose that, what would we go for? To be honest, I don't have a lot of spooky books. I don't read, I mean, I could read a thriller, but I don't read, like, they're not like, I was going to say they're not fictional. They're not very atmospheric in that sort of way. They're just like, I read like a Freida McFadden. Love a Freida McFadden. Actually, I feel like there's a better option here, but I can't think of it. I can't think of like even an ebook I could read. Like, also, what I'm just thinking of now is when, is it the King asked Shrek, like, what are you reading? And he's like, oh, it's just a scary book. Oh my gosh, can't do that accent to save my life. I think we're gonna go with Phantasma. Or we've got Drive a Plough with the Bones of the Dead. I forgot I even had this next to me because I knocked it off the stack. In a remote Polish village, eccentric woman in her 60s recounts the events surrounding the disappearance of her 2 dogs. This does sound scary because it's like about a murder. Maybe this is like more spooky because it's like, oh my gosh, someone needs to help me. I wish you guys were here in real life. This feels like silly fun romance time and like a fun fantasy, less so than like a spooky book. I feel like I'm put off by that. So I feel like I might go with Drive a Plough with the Bones of the Dead. Oh my gosh. Let's do this. It's also a completely different vibe from everything else we've got going on here. So actually, do I have any fantasy? No. I mean, unless you count like Dracula and Frankenstein's fantasy, but I don't have any silly fun time fantasies. So let's go through the books one last time. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, Dracula by Bram Stoker, Frankenstein by Miss Mary Shelley, Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage, and Drive Your Plough Over the Bones of the Dead by an author whose name I'm not going to pronounce because I need to learn how to do it before I embarrass myself on the internet. Any further, I should say. So yeah, there we go. That is such a lovely stack. I'm so happy with it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, let me know that you did. Subscribe if you'd like to stick around and see more videos from me. I'm going to be doing a reading vlog for sure for Dracula, potentially for Frankenstein as well. So if you're interested in seeing that, let a girl know. I'm very happy to deliver. Yeah, it should be a really spooky, atmospheric one. Stay tuned. And I'll see you super duper soon in a few days for another video. Bye bye.